What's happening, Lazy Bunch fans? Dan here, and we are doing another Let's Ask Lazy Bunch question and answer video! Today's video is going to be a little bit shorter than the previous ones, hopefully not running over 30 minutes like last time. So this time there's a lot of really interesting questions that I'm really excited to answer for you guys. So thank you all for submitting questions in the Ask Dan Man section of our Discord server. As always, make sure you slap that subscribe button and make sure you like this video to help us with the YouTube algorithm. And if you're here, you might as well watch a machinima or two. I mean, I don't know, we have a lot of shorts going on right now. There's a lot of content to watch. Anyway, let's dive right into this with Aquifer Unknown asking the first question. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck? Oh boy. The next question is from Mothman-in-Law, actually aka my brother-in-law on Discord. Welcome to the Discord server and welcome to the Lazy Bunch channel, my bro. Mothman-in-Law asks, Yu-Gi-Oh content? Listen, I don't think it's any secret that I absolutely adore Yu-Gi-Oh. From the card game to the TV show, everything about Yu-Gi-Oh I just love. But to be honest, the last few years I've been so out of it, I have no idea what's going on with the Zexals, 5Ds, everything that's going on. So while I would love to make Yu-Gi-Oh content, I don't know if I am the right person that, you know, people want to listen to about Yu-Gi-Oh. I mean, I've been in the game since the very first Yu-Gi-Oh pack came out, The Legend of Blue Eyes, back in I think 2000 or 2001. Yu-Gi-Oh has played a huge part of my life, including my brother Greg's life. Him and I have both been trading Yu-Gi-Oh cards and collecting ever since we were little kids. Funny enough, I actually did make some Yu-Gi-Oh videos way back when I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh Forbidden Memories again. So maybe one day I might make some Yu-Gi-Oh content. Who knows? Next, Mothman-in-Law asks, do you have a favorite console and a least favorite console? Ooh, let's get the controversy going. So for me, I think my favorite console of all time is probably, and I know this is a very childish answer, the Nintendo Wii. Back in the day, you had the Xbox 360 with a lot of hardware issues, including the red ring, and even the PS3 was amazing in its own right. The graphics were revolutionary at the time, and the console was just beautiful to look at. But the Nintendo Wii has to be my favorite just because it was revolutionary for the time. My least favorite console has to be the PS2. I loved a lot of the games with it, but the PlayStation 2, I had so many problems with it. Let me rewind a little bit. Me and Greg have owned 3 PlayStation 2s in our lifetime. 3. And each one of them had disc reading problems, whether it be DVDs, PS1 games, or just some PlayStation 2 games for whatever reason. The DualShock controllers were not very good. They kept constantly breaking. We thought the red ring on the Xbox 360 was bad, but our PS2s literally just kept dying, and we had so many problems with them growing up. Like, I think that is just because of what we've experienced. That is why the PS2 is my least favorite console. Man, that answer took a lot more to explain than I thought. But yeah, leave your comments below. If you have a favorite console, comment down below. Let's start an argument, guys. Tell me why I am wrong about my opinion. I want to hear your answers. Next, the Mothman asks, oh man, he asks a bunch of questions. Will you do another Smash video? Perhaps during World of Light, the solo story mode. Look, I definitely want to do another Smash video. In fact, you and I have talked about doing a Smash video together, and I think it's gonna happen. It's just timing. We gotta just sit down and actually make it happen. It's gonna happen someday. Do you have a least favorite video game that you own / used to own? That's a tricky one. But funny enough, my least favorite game isn't one that I actually own or have owned. It's one that Greg has owned. It is called Doritos Crash Course. It came out for the Xbox 360. The annoying reason is because Greg bought the game for the sole purpose of bringing up his gamer score and getting more achievements. The game had a lot of achievements and all worth a lot of points, so he really wanted the game. So he got it, and he played it, and it was by far the most obnoxious and annoying game that I've ever heard and seen. On top of that, years and years, in fact, maybe even a decade since he's bought it later, it still pops up on my Xbox profile showing that, hey, you've purchased this thing before, why not download it again? And every time I open up my home screen, I see it. It's sitting there, and I don't want to look at it. So yeah, Doritos Crash Course. I don't like that game. It is not one that I would ever play, nor would I say should play. Favorite Lego original themes: City, Exoforce, Heroica, etc. Man, you guys know me. I love Lego. I love all the themes, but I think for me, the best original theme has got to be Bionicle. My favorite Bionicle set of all time are the Nui Jagas from 2001. Those little scorpion guys where you have that little thing where you press in the back and it's like pincher comes down and hits you. I absolutely loved that set as a kid, and I used that thing so much to torment Greg and my parents. I loved that set. Bionicle, everyone. Bionicle is my favorite original theme. Lego City comes a close second because I have a Lego City upstairs, so I love the vehicles and the park and everything. So yeah, those are my favorite themes. Exo Force is actually a really good one too. There was a Viking theme at one point that I apparently owned every set for, so that was a good one too. Is my sister going to be in more videos, like maybe a playthrough of a Lego game or just a few rounds of Overcooked? Ooh, I am always down for having Kaylee be involved in more videos, but she never wants to be involved in them. Like every time I ask her, she doesn't want to do them. For those of you who don't know, my wife Kaylee actually does the voice of Arabella Mason from the Perfect Soldiers franchise, so yeah, she's gonna be appearing in more things in the future. But besides that gaming stuff, she never really wants to do anything gaming. And if it is, she just wants to sit in the living room couch and not think about it or even talk about it. She just wants to mindlessly play. But I honestly think a few rounds of Overcooked would be a lot of fun to play with her, just because of the banter that her and I have. Like, she's screaming at me, telling me to put out fires, grab the meat, grab the food. And I'm sitting there like, well, maybe I should worry about the rice that's about to overboil in the pot over there. No, you gotta go get the chicken. You gotta get the chicken before they burn. That's literally a game of Overcooked for us. And it's just a lot of fun. So maybe I should record those. If you guys want me to, please comment below. Tell me that we should do an Overcooked series. Next, we got a question from Asteroid. Hey, Asteroid, the first question on these Ask Lazy Bunch videos. Woo! Asteroid asks, favorite machinimas? There are quite a few, actually. So going down the list, obviously, Red vs. Blue is my favorite machinima of all time. Recruits by Lost Hobo Films is a really good series. Hilarious, very much like Red vs. Blue. So if you're sick of Red vs. Blue or want to find something similar, Recruits is a good option. Chronicle 177's Hyborian or Brotherhood War, those are amazing series. Lineage or Huntress 2, I'm not sure which one it is, but the machinima that's on Ascend Hyperion's YouTube channel. In fact, we found a lot of great voice actors and found Aaron Weatherford, our composer, from Ascend Hyperion. Dead Silent, the Halo Zombie series, is absolutely amazing. Every episode is just like incredible. Like the forge, the acting, everything about it is just perfect. Like, you can't go wrong with that series. The Odyssey by HCM, also an amazing machinima. A lot of fun too. Like when you're watching it, like there are serious moments, but just something about it just like brings you back to classic Halo Reach machinima days. Like, it's just fun to watch. I know I'm missing some, but yeah, those are my favorites right now off the top of my head, but there are a lot more. I'm sure I'll think of it when I'm not thinking of it. I kid you not, I'm probably gonna walk away from this and be like, shoot, how did I forget that one? We got another one from Aquifer Unknown. Least favorite machinima director. Ooh, the director. That's an interesting one. So, I have a couple machinima directors that, I'm not 100% fond of. I mean, I don't really have like a least favorite. I mean, like, I generally like working with everyone in this community. Like, there's not a director that I just dislike or dislike their content. Now, there are some people out there who I think are kind of like toxic for the community. And I'm not gonna name names or drop anything. I mean, that's just gonna cause a whole lot of drama that I don't think is necessary for this video or for this community right now. I don't know. I got nothing for you, Aquifer. I'm sorry. I got nothing. Next, we got one from Nate Spidey18. Good old Nate Spidey. Skit content similar to what your brother Greg does in real life or maybe in Halo games. So if you've been watching my Halo shorts, a lot of them are kind of like Greg's stuff. I mean, not so much like real life people talking, just random scenarios and situations that these characters get into, like every dog movie ever, every Hallmark movie ever. Like those are the types of things I like to do. Funny dumb skits or funny dumb advertisement type things like 343's weapon lowering and Lonely Fans. Like those things are just so dumb and stupid. Like I just love doing those. In real life content, I have thought about doing it. In fact, I have literally like 100 scripts written for live action stuff for me to do. But the truth is, I don't really have a good camera to film on. Like I have a great photography camera, but I don't really have a good camera for filming. And that's something, you know, once I invest in a good camera, then I could go ahead and do that. But yeah, I think for now I'm just gonna stick with Halo games just because they're a lot of fun, and more importantly, I can get the voiceovers done whenever I get the chance. So it's just a lot easier for me to do those Halo ones. Kai06 or Extra Ninja. What armor helmet do you like, but is actually everyone's least favorite or hated set? I don't think this is much of an unpopular opinion, but I absolutely love the ODST look. Now this is where the unpopular opinion comes in because I actually really love the Halo 4 ODST helmet. I know, a lot of people don't like that one. A lot of people would prefer literally any other armor set, but if we're gonna go with like overall sets, I actually really love the Halo 4 HAZOP set. I really wish that one made a comeback in either Halo 5 or Halo Infinite, just because, I don't know, there's something about it that I really like. It's a uniqueness to it that it sets it apart from the other armors. So yeah, that one didn't really get a whole lot of love, but I really like that armor set. That's one of my favorites. Next, we got another one from Aquifer Unknown. He asks, favorite character from any machinima? Okay, so let's get Red vs. Blue out of the way. Caboose and Church are my two favorite characters, but outside outside of Red vs. Blue, Glitch from Recruits is by far my favorite character in any machinima. He is just perfect. I love the character. Aquifer asks, favorite Disney characters? So my wife and I absolutely love Donald and Daisy Duck. They are by far our favorite Disney characters and favorite Disney couple because they seem like us in a lot of situations. Like, her and I both sometimes lose our temper, and her and I both love to be sweet with each other too, and bicker and grovel, and you know, we always are arguing about something, but at the end of the day, we still love each other always, no matter what. But my personal favorite Disney character is the Genie. Look at this perfect piece of art. It is Olaf as the Genie from one of those Olaf shorts. This thing is perfect in every way, and it's beautiful, and I love it, and I don't want it to ever go away. Next question by Aquifer. He asks, what's the next Let's Watch? So I really dove deep into my reasoning why I canceled the Let's Watch series in the last Ask Lazy Bunch. Go ahead and click on the link below, or just find it on my YouTube channel. But the Let's Watch series is canceled. It is not coming back, and I have no plans of bringing it back. Like I said in the last video, unless there is a huge fan demand. But if there are people who do miss it, please tell me in the comments below, and we'll see. We'll see. Mothman-in-law is back with another question. Project Freelancer or the Perfection Project? Who wins? So I reached out to him asking for some clarification on who this Perfection Project is, and it actually turns out it's from the Perfect Soldier Evolution, the Operation Perfection team from our Machinima series. So for me, I am not a huge fan of Perfect Soldier Evolution. While some of the machinima and filmography aspects of it is pretty cool, I don't care much for the story or the characters. I really feel like Perfect Soldier Elimination introduced a lot of characters very well and took some characters that were from Evolution and kind of evolved them a little bit more, made them better. So who wins in this backstory type story? I think Project Freelancer wins just because there's a lot more interesting characters and interesting storylines going on with them. However, a little bit of a spoiler, our next machinima is going to be the Perfect Soldiers. It's going to be like the Avengers for our machinima universe. It is the coming together of every hero and every villain that we've made and throw them all into one battlefield together to fight each other. And yeah, but there's a lot of backstory being written into this machinima, particularly explaining how the war and the Civil War started in general. So, but again, Project Freelancer, I think they win. Operation Perfection, you got X-53, who's basically invincible, but Project Freelancer has the meta. So that's one of those fights that like you really don't know who's gonna win because both are basically indestructible and impervious to any wounds of any kind. So yeah, those are my thoughts on that. That's the answer I got. Next, we got the Slime Artist asking a question. If I were to make another music montage about the Perfect Soldiers, what would it be about? Buck suggested I do Reynolds or Anderson. I just hope there's enough footage of Anderson, if so. So dude, your music video for Lone Wolf's Extraction was super awesome. I loved it. Thank you so much for making it. Honestly, Reynolds might be the easiest one to do just because there are so many moments that Reynolds has evolved as a character. So he's definitely one to look into. And actually, I think Anderson's been in 3 of the 5 as well. So, I mean, you might have some good content to use with him. If anything, what you could try doing is kind of like showcasing the light versus the dark side of the Perfect Soldiers universe. Show footage of both Anderson and Reynolds fighting each other, or different lines go back and forth. There's a lot of great dialogue scenes between the two of them. Next, we got one from the Lawman. Oh man, Lawman Media, dude! Lawman, you are just so cool, so awesome, man. I have known you for, gosh, how many years now? It's been so long, man. Where do you see machinima in the next 5 years? I don't know about machinima as a whole. It seems like Minecraft machinima hasn't been as popular as it used to be. GTA 5 machinima, I feel like it's starting to go a little bit back up just because people are still playing GTA 5. I don't know if there's actually been any Fortnite machinimas. I've seen some Destiny 2 machinimas, but I feel like if there was a prominent Fortnite machinima community, then I think machinimas in general would be much higher than what it is now. But in terms of Halo machinimas, I think it really depends on what happens with Halo Infinite. Right now, I think the game is on an uptick. I think it's gonna get better. I mean, I know there's that whole layoff thing that just happened a few days ago, or I think it was a week ago now. But I really think Season 3 is gonna help Halo Infinite. I think it's gonna bring some more people back. But more importantly, now that we're out of like the coronavirus era, you know, people are getting back to trying to find their hobbies and their work lives again. So from what I've seen, it looks like there might be an uptick in Halo machinimas again, at least this year and next year. There's some big ones coming out that these shows are gonna inspire a lot of people to get back into machinima, and I think Season 3, Season 4, maybe even Season 5 of Halo Infinite is gonna continuously evolve and get better. So I think people are gonna come back to Halo Infinite and want to make more machinimas again. Aquifer Unknown is back with another question. He asks, what are your thoughts on machinima creators featuring prominently in other works, such as you and Megalodon's Mega Crew? Do you think this should be done more often? I think this should be done more often, but it should be done a little bit cautiously. Listen, it's always cool to collab with other people and other creators in videos. It's always a good thing to have a video and say, hey, featuring this so-and-so in this project. It's like watching a Marvel movie and seeing what's his name show from that other project appear in this one. It always builds up hype. It's always really good, but it depends on the person and depends on how much they're involved in the community. I feel like Megalodon's beloved by a lot of people in this community, and he's played such a big role in machinima in general. He's been in like almost every Halo machinima that you could possibly think of. So I feel like having my name attached to it means nothing because it's Megalodon. He's gonna get the views no matter what. I think collaborating in general is just something that's been so overlooked these past few years. Like, so many people are individualistic and doing their own things that we really should just band together and try to do the best we can to knit the divided edges within this community. Next, we got another one from Aquifer Unknown. Do you think the pros of making a story in the machinima format outweigh the cons when compared to mediums such as film? So personally, I think film outweighs machinima. I think live action, you could always do a whole lot more in real life, obviously, than in a machinima. But I think for the average consumer, now don't get me wrong, I'm saying average, maybe even a little bit above average consumer. There's so much you gotta do, not just on the tech side, but you also gotta really think about life and the problems that life comes with, such as locations, lighting, set dressing. Everything that you take for granted for in a machinima is definitely gonna wear you down when it comes to doing live action stuff. So I think machinimas do have kind of the help of being a little bit more individualistic. You know, if you're trying to make something by yourself, your own content, having machinima does help it in some ways, whereas in film it's nearly impossible to make any film by yourself. You need a team, you need a lot of people to help you with, and you need people on a set every day to help you get these shots done. There's a lot more that goes into film, and it's a lot more expensive. Saudi from our Discord server asks, do you think machinima is at a healthy state right now, and do you think machinima will eventually die out? Oh man, this is a bleak one to think about, but I mean, this kind of goes back to what Lawman was asking a little bit ago, his question. I don't think machinima is in a healthy state right now, but I definitely think it'll get better with season 3 of Halo Infinite, and depending on how well the future of Halo Infinite is, I mean, it could get better, it could get worse, but I think Halo Infinite machinimas are just gonna get better from here on out. Do I think machinima will eventually die out? I don't know, and it really depends on how accessible animation is and animation technology is to the average consumer. You have programs like Blender coming in where the lines between machinima and animation are almost like blurred now. Like, you can make a pretty good machinima looking content just using animation. You don't even have to pick up a controller. So I don't know if machinima will die out, and if animation is the thing that'll kill it, or if new technology become easily accessible, like you got VR and everything like that. Who knows if someone will just create a whole universe and play it, and that will become a future machinima. Who knows? Who knows? But I don't think machinima is gonna die out, but it's definitely not in a good state right now. I think it'll get better though. And last but not least, we have another question by Nate Spidey18. I always feel like you're closing out these videos, Nate. I mean, I don't know what it is, but I think that's just gonna have to be the norm now. We're gonna have to close it out with Nate in every video. Is there any AAA developers you think would make a good Halo game other than 343? Example, Activision, Bethesda, Naughty Dog, etc. Bethesda and Naughty Dog, I feel like would be interesting ones to take on the Halo franchise. I've heard rumors that Certain Affinity is gonna take over, and that 343 is just gonna be like the ones that make the stories and the concepts, and while Certain Affinity is gonna do the gaming aspect of it. I don't know how true that rumor is, but there are a lot of weird rumors circulating around. Activision is more of a publisher, but I kind of see what you're asking with this, especially with Assassin's Creed and all that. If Bungie got its hands on it, of course, that would be the natural answer. But Bungie's also changed so much this past decade. Like, I feel like if Bungie did get their hands on it, it wouldn't be the same Halo, and I don't think they even want to just continue doing Halo. I think they're just kind of mentally done with it. So I don't really know. I don't really have an answer for you on this one, honestly. This is, like I said, I've seen a lot of YouTubers, a lot of videos circling around about who to take over and everything like that, but I don't know, there hasn't been a straight answer that really sticks out. Like, there's none that really make you say, that's the company that should take it over. You know, I don't really know. I think it boils down to if a company has a big enough staff to run a live service game, a company with enough creative people who are driven enough to tell different stories. I know that's a lot to ask for, but really, it boils down to those two things for me. If there's enough staff and if there's enough creative people who would want to do it. You know, that's it doesn't really matter to me who takes it as long as they have those two qualities, in my opinion at least. But yeah, yeah, so we'll see. Anyway, that's gonna wrap up today's video. I hope this did come out to 30 minutes. I mean, these were less questions, but I did elaborate a lot more on them. It took a lot more time with them. So as always, thank you so much for submitting them. And as always, thank you so much for watching this video. If you made it to the very end, make sure you comment down below. Recruits is awesome. Comment that down below. And I know you've watched it, and I know that you will be appreciated. Anyways, make sure you slap that subscribe button once again. Make sure you hit that like button as well. Show us some love and some support. And as always, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.
Grenade